All right, it's Earlage Day, round 2, and we need some sunshine. We got the opposite problem now. Before we were having a problem with it being too dry. Now it's a little bit too wet, but the corn is dried down. So we want to try to get that in at the right moisture. So we're shooting for that like 35% moisture, and the corn is probably there or below that now. And the problem is that it's been raining, and so the field is kind of wet. We had a nice sunny day yesterday, so hopefully things are dried out a little bit, but I was hoping for some more sun today, but it's pretty overcast. Hopefully the sun will come out, keep drying things up, but we're gonna go for it today because we want to get the corn in when we need it. Otherwise we might have a problem with the corn being too dry. So part of putting earlage in a bag is that it's a fermenting process that happens in there. So if it's too dry, that can affect the fermentation. It's also hard to pack in a bag, so you can be susceptible to more mold because you can't get all the air out of the bag. So anyway, we're gonna go for it today. Just getting the tractors ready here. We're gonna put the Magnum on the bagger again, and we're gonna run wagons today around home here. So we got an early start to get the feeding going, and we're finishing that up now. So we'll get the tractors ready, and then we'll get the bagger hooked up. I think it's on its way. Mixer's in the shop. You guys saw that it was leaking last time. We got that thing in the shop, and we got a loaner mixer here right now, so we're using this Penta mixer for a little bit. It's working out okay. It's a little bit smaller than our mixer, so we had to split up a couple mixes to make it fit, but it's working great for us to buy us some time until our mixer gets back. So one of the ways that we look for the moisture in the kernels is the milk line, and I just pulled this ear here, and this one's, I guess, a good one to show you what the difference is. But see these kernels down here? The milk line is just a little bit below half. But these kernels up here, the milk line is all the way down. I'm talking about that the little line of white there you can see. So most of the ears in the field, the milk line is all the way down, like these ears here. So that's an indicator that we're getting close to the moisture that we need, and probably getting onto the dry side. So it's time to get it off. So most of the areas that we feed, we can feed right from the mixer, but not every pen. So there's a couple pens here that we have to feed with the skid loader. So we mix it in the mixer, we dump it off into little piles, and then we divvy it out with the skid loader. right, well, we just decided we're gonna try to push it back a little bit. We were thinking about starting around 9 or so, but it's still really foggy and wet here, so we're gonna push it back an hour. Hopefully we can get some sunshine by then, and we'll see. Bagger just showed up down there, so we're gonna get that ready. We'll put the bag on a while, and then we're ready to go. The sun comes out. I guess it's kind of holy, huh? Oh, sorry.
Like this underneath that?
I guess, if we can.
What's the best way?
That's probably the best way. All right, bagger's all set. Just need some sunshine. Well, we're doing it. This is not the day that I was expecting weather-wise, but yeah, I guess we'll see. So far, so good. I think the corn seems pretty dry, so it's good. Probably we're getting it in the bag, but I don't think we've ever done this before on a dreary day to be putting corn in the bag. So I guess we'll see how it goes. All right, we're rolling again. We had our first little hiccup of the day, and I should have filmed it because you probably would have been interested to see it, but I left the Magnum in park, and we have a problem with the Magnum where when there's pressure on the drivetrain, it can get stuck in park. And usually if you just like rock it a little bit or bump it with something, then it frees it up. So we tried to do that with the skid loader, and then we tried to pull it with the tractor, but we broke the chain. So then we just pushed on it with the tractor, and that was enough, and it popped right out. So we're back going again, but that was my fault. I should have left it in park, because as the bagger creeps forward, it puts pressure on it. And that was the very first load, so I didn't think there would be much pressure on it because we're just starting to fill out the bag. but apparently there was enough, so we'll remember that for next time. Why he's not taking a full pass, why there's some rows that he's not taking in. It's because we're still opening up the headlands here, and this is a 12-row header, and we plant with a 10-row planter. So there's gonna always be a mismatch in the number of rows that we can take off at one time because of the number of rows that we planted at one time. So anyway, it's a little bit of an inconvenience at the start here, but once we're into the field, it's not too big of a deal. But that's the problem with that mismatch in planter width and combine header width. So we're having a little bit of an issue with the bagger, and we think that the reason is because it's just taking a little bit more horsepower because we're trying to run it on a 1000 shaft. If you know anything about tractor PTO shafts, there's two versions of that shaft. So we've been running the bagger on the 1000 shaft, which means that the bagger is spinning a lot faster. But it also means that apparently it works the tractor a little bit harder. And we can hardly feed it slow enough that it wouldn't bog the tractor down. So Casey ran to get an adapter, and so we can run it on the 540 shaft. Last time we had the PTO shaft itself had a 540 end on it, but this time we had a 1000 end on it. That's what they brought. So anyway, we ran and got the adapter. We'll get that thing put on, and I think that should make it run a little bit smoother. So it's all hands on deck today, and we're still kind of a man short a little bit. We're trying to run it without someone on the bagger, so that means that the guy that's offloading has to run the bagger also. So It means a little bit of jumping back and forth, which is not ideal, but yeah, it's going fine. So we're just our bag might be a little bit crooked because it's hard to be in both places at the same time. So if the tractor starts to walk one way or the other, it takes a minute for us to get back over there to adjust it. So we might see a little bit of a squiggly line at the end, but Casey's on his way back here. He's gonna finish up cleaning out calf stalls, and then hopefully he can give us a hand and we can put another man on there. I think it'll go a little smoother. So I'm a big fan of trees, and I think it looks great to have trees around, but when the trees are in the middle of a field, it makes for a little bit of a problem, especially as equipment gets bigger and bigger. It gets hard to navigate around single trees or a clump of trees that are right in the middle of the field. So a lot of guys take them down. The neighbors took down a bunch of trees because they were in the way, and it's not really productive ground. And then not only is it the ground where the tree is at, but all the unproductivity of jockeying around the trees, you know, trying to plant around the trees, trying to harvest around the trees, is kind of a little bit of a pain and definitely not very efficient. So I think some guys feel like it pays to take on the expense to get them out of the way. So, but for now we have trees in our field. We'll probably be there for a while, and I think we're all finished up around the trees now, so should be smooth sailing. We're back in the middle of the field now, and we're rolling. See, the ground is just a little bit soft. We're kind of making tracks here a little bit, but this is worse because the ground was bare here. We chopped this corn off for corn silage, so where the corn fodder is, it's actually better. It's not too muddy at all because we're kind of driving on the fodder. Maybe there's too much pressure on it. Let me shut it off a second. Pull it back a little bit. There we go. There we go. All right, let's try that.
But Casey gave you your plate, right?
Yep.
Thanks. Have fun.
Yeah. Lunchtime. Bologna and cheese sandwich. This is not sweet bologna. This is what we call Lebanon bologna. It's more kind of tangy tasting. And it is my favorite kind of bologna. The sweet is okay, but if I'm choosing, I'll choose this stuff over the sweet. So we got some trees here again. This is the other reason why trees are not so great with a cornfield, because you can see that the corn is a lot shorter under the trees. It just doesn't grow as good there. So not only is it shorter, then the trees drop branches and stuff like that in the field, and sometimes we have to back up and go around those things. So yeah, it's a little bit of a nuisance, but trees are a great wind barrier. So we like to have fence rows. We call them fence rows, where a line of trees that goes down between two fields. I don't know if that's an old school term or what, because it's not really a fence row at all. It's a tree row, but maybe there was fences there in the past. I don't know. few more loads to fill up this bag, then we'll be on to the second bag already. So I'm thinking that we might have enough to fill the second bag. That was my goal. I was hoping that we'd have enough to do two 250-foot bags. So once we finish this bag up, we'll see a little bit better, but I think we're probably about maybe a little more than halfway, but yeah, we'll have to see. Is it tight enough?
Pretty tight. Hey, Kate! What? Oh.
Get caught in the traffic jam?
Yeah. I thought I would have space to get through, but I guess I do.
You're probably fine. You can go now.
Just pop off the
Yeah. All right, second bag on the bagger. Get her filled. There's our sunshine. We were waiting on you. Okay, we're back at it. Second bag. We're gonna finish up this field across the road, and then we'll be back to everything on this side of the road, so we don't need to be on the road at all, because it's probably gonna get dark on us.
It's like 20 loads, maybe not even that.
For you or for all tractors?
For me? Probably not. Probably not even 20.
We have 3 tractors running. Mitch, Casey, and Earl. And I'm just here for the ride. But we are on field number 3. How many ag bags have we filled today?
We're on our second one.
Okay, second one. It's going pretty good. Rain stopped, sun shining. It's gonna be a good evening.
This field has a little bit of a triangle section. When we plant it, we always end up with a little triangle right here at this end, so we're eating up the triangle right now. That's why, if you saw there, we started with taking only one row into the header, and by the end we were filled all the way across. So I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's kind of fun to watch it pop the ears off the stalks. They like come bouncing in there. All right, so we're in the last field now. We finished up those 2 smaller fields that are a little on the outskirts of this field. So we just have this field right below the hog barn here to finish up, and then we'll be done. But there's a good bit here yet, so we're not quite done yet. Done with the short rows in this field, and that's probably more than half this field now. So next up we'll get to the long rows where we can be a little bit more efficient. All right, it's the next morning. We finished up all the corn that we had here at home last night, but we didn't get the bag full. So we're only a little bit over halfway through this bag, and we really wanted to see if we could fill it up. So I guess we're gonna see if we can buy some more corn. There's a couple options for us maybe to get some from some people around here. So we're gonna look into that and see if we can fill this bag up. But for now, that's it. Didn't make nearly as much as we were hoping, but we were kind of expecting that a little bit this year. It was definitely a difficult year for corn. Yeah, let's see if we can get her filled up and go from there. See you guys next time.